Granny, don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Don't run." With these words, calm and composed, Thanasis Arvanitis reassured an elderly woman he encountered while walking outside his home. Just a few minutes earlier, he had committed one of the most horrifying crimes in Greek history. Thanasis Arvanitis, a 31-year-old chef, had married 25-year-old teacher Adamantia Karkali a year earlier. In 2008, Adamantia was appointed to Akrotiri, Santorini, and Thanasis followed her, working as a chef at a hotel restaurant in the Imerovigli area. One day before the tragic event of August 3rd, he asked the hotel owner to hire Adamantia as his assistant. The owner refused, explaining that such a thing was not possible because his wife was a public employee, leading to an argument and Thanasis angrily resigning. No one, however, expected things to unfold as they did next. Thanasis, originally from Alexandroupoli, had exhibited psychotic issues since the age of 21 while serving in the military. He was examined by psychiatrists and deemed unfit for service. He was discharged with an I-5 classification. In Greece, the I-5 classification is a military discharge status that declares a conscript unfit for military service due to severe physical or mental health issues. It is one of several discharge classifications under Greek military law. Periodically, he was hospitalized at the psychiatric hospital of Alexandroupoli and underwent specialized pharmaceutical treatment for 2 years. Following his treatment, he began studying at a culinary school in Thessaloniki. There, he met his future wife. Adamantia had been accepted into the pedagogical department of Rethymno, and when she began her studies there, Thanasis followed her. He worked occasionally as a chef in local restaurants, but often went long periods without work due to conflicts with his employers. Adamantia's parents were concerned about their daughter's relationship, but she was unwilling to leave Thanasis. In 2007, they married and moved to Santorini when Adamantia was appointed as a teacher at a school in there, where she quickly became beloved by her young students. That tragic afternoon, neighbors of Thanasis and Adamantia heard the couple arguing, something that had become common in recent weeks. Few realized that their dog had been killed and thrown into the street earlier, and they had called the police. Shortly before 7 p.m. that day, calls were made to the police department about a decapitated dog, and a patrol car was dispatched to the couple's home led by a senior officer and accompanied by a deputy. The deputy had forgotten his gun at the station but did not return to get it, as he said, "The initial information was that we were going to arrest a dog killer." Meanwhile, Thanasis had attacked his wife, stabbed her in the back and neck, and decapitated her. The first patrol car was followed by a second with 3 trainee officers, as the police had by then been notified of Adamantia's murder. When they arrived in the village, they found Thanasis wandering the streets holding his wife's severed head in one hand and a large knife in the other, spreading terror among locals and tourists. The first officer called on him to surrender, and Thanasis pretended to comply, lying on the ground, but when the officer tried to handcuff him, he lunged and injured the officer in the face. Immediately, the second officer fired 4 shots at him. The bullets hit him in the chest and abdomen, but they were not enough to stop him in his state of amok. He stunned the officers by throwing the severed head at the second patrol car, entered the first patrol car, and fled at high speed. During the chase that followed, Thanasis drove into oncoming traffic and collided with a scooter, seriously injuring the 2 young female doctors riding it. Without stopping, he then crashed the patrol car into a roadside barrier. When the pursuing officers approached to arrest him, he tried to deceive them again, first pretending to faint and then attempting to grab an officer's gun. The officer shot him again, with one of the ricocheting bullets injuring a 21-year-old tourist passing by. In the end, it took a total of 6 bullets to subdue the killer. He was airlifted by helicopter, along with the other injured, to a hospital in Athens. The forensic examiner who examined the body of the unfortunate Adamantia found that she had suffered a total of 9 stab wounds to the torso, from the back, and 1 to the neck. Of these, 7 were post-mortem. There were no signs of resistance, confirming that she had been completely caught off guard. The chilling finding of the forensic examiner was that the first phase of the decapitation occurred while Adamantia was still alive. Thanasis was sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of his wife. 25 years in prison merged for the attempted murder of a police officer and 2 doctors, and 10 years in prison for illegal possession of a weapon, illegal use of a weapon, desecration of a corpse, disruption of traffic, and other charges. This was the gruesome story of the unfortunate Adamantia. What do you think about this tragic event? Let us know in the comments below.